Not recording, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So we were talking about integrating changes from one branch to another. So the command is git merge source branch to destination branch. This is the syntax so that you get the changes integrated from one branch to another. And which kind of changes will be integrated? The committed changes from source branch will be integrated into destination branch. So as per the syntax, what is our source branch? From
P1,
which branch we want to bring the changes? B1.
P1,
And
P1.
the destination branch is master.
Master.
Right. So we get the committed changes whichever there on B1 to master. Right. Now, if you see here, you can see the file, or else you may also do ls. You'll see the files. Also, when you see the log of master, git log one line, this is giving log of master, you will see the commit, whichever there on B1. Everything you got. Right. Understood. So yeah, you got everything into merge. This is a kind of simple kind of
Quick
merge.
question.
Also,
I have a
one second. Also, this is called as fast forward merge or automatic merge. You can see whenever you're merging, it was showing something like fast forward merge, right? This is called automatic merge. Means whenever I do git merge source branch and destination, all the changes from the source branch will be merged into the destination branch automatically, right? All the updates, all the commits, whichever not there in master, but whichever there on B1 will be merged. Yeah, tell me please.
Yeah. So after merging, we will be having the other branch committed information as well. So it completely copied to the main master.
Whenever you are merging, only committed changes from source will come into destination branch, not the other changes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
So we have merged. This is a simple merge scenario. It's called fast forward merge or automatic merge, simple merge. Let us take up another scenario where we'll have a merge with a small twist. Shall we proceed? Good to go? You understood the basic branch and merge, right? Branching and merging. Yesterday we created a branch.
Yes.
Today we merged it. Now let's take up another interesting scenario. So I'm on master branch. Okay, I'm creating a new file on master. This is very, very important. So just follow carefully. Okay, so what should we do? Where is the change or where is the file?
Master.
By now we are very well versed with these steps. The changes were on the master branch or untracked, like they were in the working directory. So we need to add the changes. So now the changes were in the staging area. Now I would like to commit the changes. Git commit -m file number 4 or whatever, something like this. Okay, done. Now if you see the branch, it says like everything is clean. And now I have got 4 files and I have got the 4th commit here. So now tell me, is this 4th commit available on B1? Were they available on
No.
B1?
No.
Definitely, they were not
No.
available on B1. Okay, fine. Parallelly, development is happening. Like some requirements I'm developing here, some requirements I want B1. So I'm going to B1 branch. How to switch the branch? Now you can help me with all these
Check
steps. How
out.
to switch?
Check out.
Check out.
Git checkout, the branch name. So switch to B1. Now I don't have that 4th file. I have only those 3 files and I have got only those 3 commits. 4th commit, 4th file not available. It is as expected. Perfect. It's working as expected. Fine. Now here I want to develop. I have to have another requirement. Here I have a need that I should create a file called file4. Okay. I'm not bothered whether it is another branch or whether someone created or not. I'm least bothered about it. And I'm just making some changes here. Okay. Git add.
So this is also file 4 on
On, tell me, where is it?
on B1. File 4 on
Exactly.
B1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we just created the file.
There are two files with the same name.
So on branch B1, it says changes to be committed. What should we do now?
This is in your staging, right?
It
So
will be
we commit.
conflicting.
Git
Yes.
commit -m on B1. Okay. So done. I have made the changes. So I have 4 files and I have 4th commit. Right? Done. So I'm done with my changes. My changes were ready. Now like I said some time back, let's say this B1 is for temporary brand, a temporary purpose. Like I'm using it like a draft. Once I'm ready with my changes, I want to merge them back to the master branch. So how to merge? We already know how to merge.
Check out.
Tell me the steps.
Git
See,
merge
always,
merge.
yeah.
Merge.
Always the best practice is go to the destination branch when you're merging. Okay.
Source branch.
Also, certain versions will support you, like you can merge on the destination branch, certain versions of Git. So go to the destination branch. Now tell me the command. What is the command?
Git merge.
Git merge. Then the source
What is the
and
source branch?
source B1.
B1.
Destination?
Destination is master.
Yeah. So git merge B1 and master. So I would like to do this merge. So what happens if I merge?
Conflict.
Can I merge
Two
it?
files with the same.
Conflict.
Why we'll get a conflict?
Because
Oh,
the file name
right.
is same.
Same file name.
Let's see. First, let's run this command. See? Forget about this thing. Consider here. Git merge B1 master auto merging file 4. It is trying to auto merge, but merge conflict. There is a conflict in file 4. Automatic merge failed. It cannot merge it automatically. See, Git is after all a tool. Git will not override changes from one branch to another. Please, everyone keep muted. If you have a question, then unmute and speak so that we can avoid background noises. Everyone keep muted. If you have question, unmute and speak. And then mute again. Okay. So automatic merge failed, right? Automatic merge means like I'm trying to merge and it could not merge automatically. Git is a tool. It will not override one branch changes from one branch to another. It will not do that, right? If it does, there's no point of using it. Rather, it will inform us, but it cannot fix the conflict. And it is asking you fix the conflict and commit the result. It's asking you to fix. I'll tell you how to fix, but what is the reason for conflict? We will learn how to fix it, but what is the reason for conflict? Why did we get a conflict?
The content on the same
Two
line.
files is different with the same name. So somebody also checked in similar file, name is same, but their content is different. And the line number is different, right? So that's how Git finds it.
Okay.
If they
So
made a same line in the changes in the same line in the both the
okay.
files, then
Files are not identical.
That's
Okay.
true, yes.
So so file name, that is correct to certain extent, but it's not the only reason. Generally, people think that file name is same, content is same, we get a conflict. To certain extent only it's correct. There is something else at the back end. Let's see what is that. Here I'm writing. Tell me.
Commit ID.
Commit ID. Yeah. Commit ID. Can you elaborate? What is commit ID? Like how with respect to commit ID?
In the both master and
branch B1, there is a commit change that is not in a that is a new changes. And when you are doing the merge from the B1 to the master, there is a name commit ID.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's see. See, here I'm writing down the steps of what is happening. First step is on master, we have created a file for and made a commit called commit A, correct? That's the first step. Is this correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Is this commit A available on B1?
No.
No, right? So that's the first step. Then what we did, second step, we came to B1, created a file for here as well, and made another commit B. Correct? Is this commit B available on master?
No.
Right? This is also not there on master. Fine. Now, if you see the commit history of only one file, okay, you can also see the log of this B file 4. If you see the log history or commit history of this file 4 on B1, it is simply B. Correct? File 4 commit history. Is this correct or not? Similarly, commit history of file 4 here is simply A. Correct?
Yes. All right.
So this is what is the case. Now I'm trying to merge. Merge means changes from source branch will come and sit in the destination branch. Source branch means B1 branch. They'll come and sit in the destination branch, which is master. Means if you see literally these changes should come and sit in, means here the change, imagine this is like a box. Okay, this is one box, this is another box. This box should come and sit here. Means whenever you merge, it should have only B, commit B, this box, correct? Box from B1. Means what it is doing, it is overriding commits which are existing here. Am I correct? See
Yes.
here. So if this box, if the changes from B1 should come and sit here, means it should overwrite A. Correct? And only B should be here. Or else it should ignore this and keep only A. Both of them Git will not do. It will not override, rather it will not ignore incoming changes. Right? If it does overwriting the existing changes, or if it ignores new changes, there is no point of using it. Let's use manually. Let's not use Git. Correct? So Git doesn't know which changes. The meaning of merge means bring the changes from source to destination. So if that is the case, should it override changes A commit A, means should it override existing changes on file 4, or should it ignore and keep only A? Should it ignore B? It cannot do both. It cannot decide what to do. Git cannot decide what to do. Git is after all a tool. It's an automation tool. It's a tool, right? So it cannot take decision. So it is informing us that there is a conflict. This is why there is a conflict. Means Git cannot decide. Git cannot decide, should I ignore A and keep only B? Or else should I ignore B and keep only A? Should it override A and keep B, or should it ignore B? It doesn't have a clue. It doesn't have clarity. It cannot decide. Hence, it throws a conflict. So what is the reason for conflict? Why are you get a conflict? You are getting a conflict for two reasons. It's the same file. First reason, same file. Not only just simply same file, you will not get conflict always. Same file along with source is missing some commit. Missing some commits which are there on destination. I'm writing this so that you can read and revise, register this better, understand this better. Source is, which is source here? B1 is missing. What it is missing? Commit A is missing. It is missing commit A, which is on master, which is for the file 4. Same file 4. On file 4, B is missing commit A. Hence, there arises a conflict. right? Git cannot decide, so Git is asking you to fix the conflict. How to fix, we'll see later. This is the use case. Let me do, to clarify, let me do one more thing. Let me take up another scenario, okay? Same file. We already did this actually, but let me show you again. There is a file one. Commit A is there. I created a branch B1. So file 1 came here. Also commit A came here. Okay. Then I'm making some changes on the same file, file B. Now, if I have to merge, will I get a conflict? Same file here also. Will I get a conflict?
No,
Why?
file, the master does not have the destination, the source file is the source file commits. So file
Source
one,
branch, yeah. Tell me.
so your master is missing those changes, but the developer already got that latest, which is in B1, which is file 1A, and now developer made the changes in to file 1. He added something which is B, right? And now he's going to push it to master.
Yeah, see here, source branch is having the commits, whichever there in master. Source is not missing anything. So when it merge, it will put both A and B. There is no confusion that should it override A or should it ignore B. No, right? Everything is here. So this one will come and sit here when you merge A and B. It's not, it need not override or it need not ignore. Means source is not missing any commit, right? Understood, everyone? Got the reason with conflict and with even
Ma'am, can you explain this one more last one?
see, you execute the same scenario with another file. Let's take a file 1. Okay, first on master, file 1 is having some commit A. Okay, then you made a file 1. I mean, you just made a branch B1. Then obviously you'll get the file 1 and commit A. Correct? Is the first step clear?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll get everything, whatever there in the master. Then later on, I made another commit on file 1, which is B. Now the log history of file 1 is AB, right, on B1. Whereas the file commit history of file 1 is A on master. Right now, when you merge, both A and B will be merged into master. So it is not overriding anything, right? Or it is not ignoring anything.
Yes.
Understood?
Yes,
Yeah,
madam. As you said in the above, that same file is we are not doing on the changes in the same file in the branch B. Right?
We are making changes on same file only.
Right.
But A, B, whichever there on master or there on my source branch. On the destination committee is there, on source also committee is there. Additional commits were there, but it's not missing anything which is there on destination. See, like I said, this box should go and sit here. So the box will have A and B. A is already there. It need not overwrite it. Am I clear? Still confusion?
Ma'am, to avoid this conflict, better to import first the master one. Then
See,
only
first
we can do
I am not taking questions on the consecutive steps. First, is this clear? Please confirm if this is clear. Then I'll take the consequent questions. Is this much clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone. Both the scenarios. Why you didn't get a conflict in the second part? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Louder, please. I
Go
need
ahead.
response from everyone. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
This is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, yeah, you can ask me. Some of you are asking something. Can you go ahead, please?
Yeah, ma'am. To avoid these conflicts, better to import a master and then do the changes in any new branches, right?
Okay, first
So that
thing,
we will have
you should not avoid conflict. Conflict is not something which is bad. It is always good. You should not avoid conflicts. You should not try to avoid them. It is always a good thing. It's not something you should avoid. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, conflict, why it is important, why you should have, it's telling you It's not overwriting, rather telling you this is what is happening. You decide whether to put change commit A or whether to put B or both. You decide, it's asking. So there's no point. You have to avoid them. Right? Now, how to fix it? How to resolve it? We will learn. Shall we proceed? Is this much clear for all of you? See, generally when we say conflict, people think that it's the same file name, same content, same line, all of this. Git works always with respect to changes and commits. If it is huge file, you will never know which file and which line just by seeing the file. Okay, you have to compare them. There will be comparison tools and all. But you should not be looking into the content or the lines or on all. This is the concept. Whenever you get a conflict, this is why you get a conflict. Source will be missing some comments which are there on destination on the particular file. Then you get a conflict, right? Even though it's the same file in the second use case, we don't have a conflict. This is what happens at the back end. If you get a clarity, if you have clarity on what is happening, why you get a conflict, you can resolve them very easily. Now let's see how to fix it. Okay, so whenever you get a conflict, you can open that file in an editor. First step, listen carefully. So I get a conflict in file 4. Open the file in the editor. I'll show you first with a normal editor also. File 4, right? See, whenever you get a conflict, when you open the file in an editor, it will show you contents from both the branches. Head indicates contents from the current branch. Current branch means we are on destination branch. So content from current branch master. This is the content from B1. I have only one line. So, and this kind of text is showing. This is from current branch. This is from B1. If they are huge files, it would be difficult to make changes here. Okay, so you can use some editors like VS Code editor. VS Code editor, when you install certain additional extensions or plugins, it will help you to check those conflicts in better way this way. See here, when you open the file automatically, it's showing this way. See, this is the current changes from current branch. This is the changes from source branch. It will show you this way. Means whenever you get a conflict, this is how your file will be. Now, as a person who created this file, I am the one who created it, right? You decide which changes to keep, which changes not to keep. Means whether I want to keep only this first line from master branch, or else whether I want to keep only this one, or whether I want to keep both, or else whether I want to keep anything else. You can do that. Means edit the file. See, if you, let's say I don't have VS Code, you edit it. You know how to edit the file, right? So you edit the file like how you want. Remove all of this unwanted verbose. This is all unnecessary verbose, unnecessary lines. Remove all of them. Keep whatever changes you need. Okay, you have to edit this notepad like how you want the file to be. That's all. And it may be difficult to edit that way. Here, this provides an options. Accept the current change, incoming, both, and so on.
I lost somewhere. I also created in parallel 2 files, but it is actually overriding. Same file name, but it is overriding.
Vijay, can you ask me at the end of the class? Please
Okay.
listen. Don't do the hands-on along with me. Like you may get some other question, right? You may miss what I'm explaining here. Do it at the end of the class or let me know at the end of the class. Please listen. Do the hands-on after the class.
Okay.
Okay. See here, accept current change, incoming change, both and all. So you choose the one. I need both of them actually. So I'm choosing it. Because VS Code editor, you have these options. If you use edit this way, you have to edit manually, but always better to use VS Code editor, which will help you with all these things. So that's all. I have selected accept both. So edit the file like how you want. If you don't want VS Code, you edit manually, but VS Code editor is always the best option. Done. Whenever you edit the file, what do you do in Git? What should we do in Git whenever you make any modifications?
we need to commit.
Working
We
directly
need
to
to
staging to the local
add and
report.
commit,
Add and
right? The
commit.
modifications. Yeah. Git commit -a add and commit. Give some commit message like conflicts resolved. Right? So done. Now if you see the status, done. That's how you resolve the conflict. Means only thing is, how do you resolve the conflict? You edit the file like how you want it to be. And then commit, add and commit. That's all. That's how you resolve that. Means what is happening here? You are deciding. It is a tool. It can't take decisions. You will decide what changes to keep, what to ignore, and you make changes and commit the changes. That's all. Got it? Understood the conflict and how do you get a conflict? How to resolve it? Now, let me ask you, okay, this file 4 on master is having both the lines. What would be the content of file 4 on B1?
Created on B1.
Only one line or like both the changes?
Only one
Let's
line.
you check out B1.
No, both changes. Because
On B1, on B1.
on
I'm asking
B1,
Only
on
one line.
B1.
so where did you change the file? Like
See? Only changes you made here. We merged on
yeah.
master. We did not merge on B1.
On
The
B1,
branch
okay,
will be affected whichever you merge. The destination branch will be affected. Source will not be affected, right? Simple logic. Like you are bringing from source to destination. So source will destination will be affected.
So yes.
So it will have its own changes. We merged on master, so master branch will have those
I have one
updated
question.
changes.
One
Yeah,
question,
please.
ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, there is only single file, and in different branches we see different views. That means Git is storing this information in somewhere.
Git will store this information in the form of objects. Meta information of Git will be stored. We have seen in the beginning .git folder, right? There
Yes, ma'am.
Git will store all of them in the form of objects. Meta information will be stored there.
But that was just a file, right? .git file was there in there, right?
Not Git file. It will have some. It will store them in the form of objects.
Okay. Okay.
At the back end, that is at the back end. We don't do anything with them. We have nothing to do with them.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am. Can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, ma'am. See, suppose master branch is working by some senior guy, a senior developer, and branch 1 is working by some junior. So suppose who can take a decision? Both has to discuss and do, or even junior can take a decision and he can remove the master code.
See, first
How
you
do we
have
take
to.
it?
I'm
Yeah,
answering
please.
it. So, firstly, we did not go to remote. Do you remember this? We are still here on local repository. Okay. So that's the first thing. Means
Yeah.
local repository means it's confined only for you. Now, whatever I'm doing, I get a conflict within my changes itself. Like those are all my changes. Okay. We did not go to remote it. That's the first thing. Second thing, once you go to remote, firstly, master branch permissions, direct comments will not be possible. Okay, you will be having something called pull request. Not that everyone will commit the changes. Okay, we will talk about those pull requests also when we go to remote. Means the point is not that everyone else in the team will go and commit. Everyone will not have those permissions. Okay, the lead or manager or seniors can only commit the changes to remote. Right? Hope that answered your question.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, one last question. What if we try to merge it again?
You try to merge it again, it will say there is nothing to merge. Like let's go to check out master, go to master. Are there any updates? Now, git merge B1 to master. Sorry, master. Already up to date. Whatever in B1 you have already merged, there is no update on B1. Right?
Okay.
So that's about branching, merging with conflict and without conflict. Right? Two ways of conflict. Do some hands-on. Definitely, I believe there will be so many questions when you try hands-on. Do the hands-on and get back. Tell me, anyone asking something?
Yeah, ma'am. Instead of using this merge, right, we can use the push also, right?
Push
From
is totally different, Ramu. We will discuss about that.
okay.
That is to push.
We didn't go to
No,
push yet. We will
the
talk
push
about
is for the remote repo, right? Push is for
remote
the
repos.
main. Yeah.
We did not start remote yet. Okay. So any more questions on this branching and merging?
Yeah, ma'am, one last question from my side.
Mm.
See, suppose when the situation comes, ma'am, because you said a single developer who is working in his system, so he knows that there is a master branch, and I know that there is a child branch also. I'm going to create it. So that's a deviation, right? I should first get the master branch and then start doing it and then merge it. So
it's not that you
that's
should
what I
do
can
on
do.
master branch. Generally, we never do anything on master. Okay, master will be a dedicated branch. We will never do any changes on master. Okay, I know there is a file, but still I have another requirement. The same scenario like I explained. I have a requirement. I need to develop or I need to get those changes ready. I will create some other branch like B1, make changes there, later on merging it. The same use case with respect to local repository. Okay, see whether it is a real project or whether it is in a lab, there is no difference except the environment. The scenario is same, whether it is your real project or whether you are doing on the lab. The environment means the application, the code may be different. But the scenario is the same way we will do on local also. I want to develop something. I would create a new branch and make changes there. Later on, I'll integrate it to the original branch.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, got it.
Only the files, the application, those might be different. Like they might be like from DevOps perspective, it might be your Terraform changes and so on. And there is a question from Anup in the chat window. So this means if a project is starting from scratch, someone will create local repository and others take a branch and they work on different files and merge to local repo, right? Anup, if it is a new new project, we are starting from scratch, everyone will create their own repo. Okay, they'll develop their changes. Let's say you are developing Terraform code for EC2 instance. Let's say I'm developing Terraform code for EKS. So everyone will have their own requirements. They'll develop it. At the end, like once they were ready, everyone will push it to remote. We will see how to push to remote. So now that we understood this branching and merging, do some hands-on. Definitely, these are all the things which you should do hands-on. Okay, I need not explain every day. Hands-on is mandatory. Just take it granted. Without hands-on, like to proceed further, to follow the sessions thoroughly, hands-on is mandatory. All right. Now that we understood this, let's take up another interesting concept called stash. We will see these conflicts again on remote also. Okay, conflicts we will see again. So let's talk about stash. To understand this, let me explain you with a scenario. Let's suppose there were some changes, or else let's say there are some files, file 1 and file 2. I'm making some changes. Like I made some modifications and they were all in the working directory. Okay, still in progress. Let's say half of the work is done, halfway done. Then I got a priority call from my manager. Okay, or else some very important bug fix. I have to make some changes to file 3. I need to push this immediately to remote. Push this to remote, right? I have to do this on priority. So it means I want to put this on hold. See, whenever you push your changes to remote or whenever you merge, always the thumb rule is keep the repository clean. Always the repository means whenever you do status, it shows us like it's clean, right? So always keep repository clean before you push your changes to remote, right? So if I have these changes, it will be always annoying, or it will be always asking me to add these changes, isn't it? It will be always asking me unstaged changes were there, please add and commit. My repository will never be clean, right? So I cannot just discard them because half of the work is done halfway through. I can't discard them. At the same time, I can't add them because they were incomplete. If I add the incomplete changes, right, like the code, the project may be messed up. So what should I do? I can't discard them. At the same time, I can't move them to staging and local. So what I would do is I would put them on hold, which is called stash. Put them on hold means unstaged changes. Remember, unstaged changes, not untracked. Unstaged changes can be moved to temporary shelves, right? Which is called stash. Temporary shelves, some virtual shelves. So that repository becomes clean, you can continue a priority task. And once you are done, when you want to continue this incomplete work, you can unstash. Unstash means get the changes back from this temporary shelves to your working directory, which is called unstash. So this is the concept of stash and unstash. Generally, unstaged changes will be stashed. Of course, untracked ones also you can stash, but generally we stash the unstaged changes. Right? Let me show you this with a scenario so
No,
that
madam.
it should be.
One second.
Mm.
Untracked changes, I was unable to do the stash. I remember this one.
You can
For-
do untracked also, but with the command, different command with a U flag.
Okay. This I didn't. Okay. Stash. Okay.
Alternatively, we could use git ignore functionality also here, ma'am, right?
Just think about it and let me know. Okay, what is the difference between git ignore and stash? You have to tell me. Meanwhile, you think about it. Meanwhile, let's do some hands-on here. Everyone think about it. What is the difference between ignore and stash? Can we use ignore here? Just
No,
think
ma'am.
about it.
No,
Think
no.
and tell me after some time. Okay, let me show you this one now. So I'll take up those answers in few minutes. Now go to file one. Let's say I'm just writing new file on master. Okay, I made some change here. Then file two also I'm making. Okay, I'm saving them. Now both of them have got some unstaged changes. What will be the status message showing us?
Untracked.
It shows that it
Unstaged.
shows
Unstaged.
Rethink, recheck. Is it
unstaged.
untracked?
Unstaged.
It's not new file, right? Okay,
It's
so
unstaged.
it is like unstaged. It's not new file. So just modification. So unstaged, like changes not staged. So fine, now I have some unstaged changes. I don't want to discard them. I don't want to commit them, but I want to put them on hold, right? I want to move them to temporary shells. What is the command? Git stash. That's all. So git stash, what it will do? It will move these unstaged changes into temporary shelves, right? So let us do that. Yeah, I'm running this command. See, it says working directory is moved. Okay, something like this. Now, if you see the status, it's clean. Do you mean the changes are gone? Gone in the sense, were they discarded? Of course, changes were not there here. They were empty files earlier also. Changes are not there. Does it mean that they were gone? They were stashed. How do you see them? Git stash list. Whenever you stash, a stash number will be created, and stash number starts from 0. This is called indexing the stash. Indexing starts from 0 means first stash. If you want to see what are all the things that were stashed, git show stash number. Okay, git show stash number. It will show you, see file 1. Okay, this line, file 2, this line was stashed. Okay, they were in the temporary shelves. Now your repository is clean. You can continue other merges or commits, whatever. Okay, you can continue your incomplete work. Right? Okay, fine. I'm done with my priority tasks. I have done the other tasks. Now I want to bring those changes. Means unstash. How do you unstash?
Pop. Git stash pop.
Git stash pop. Again the stash number. Right? What this pop will do? Listen carefully. This will unstash. Unstash means bring it from temporary shelves to working directory, plus it will delete this from temporary shelves. It will drop means it will delete it. Let me show you. See, your changes are back. And if you see status, yes, unstaged changes. And when you see the stash list, see, it's empty. It's nothing on remote. Sorry, it's nothing on temporary shelves. Understood? You got your changes back. Files are having these lines now. This is how you can stash and unstash. Let me show you one more thing. I'm stashing again. Okay. See, I'm doing git stash again. Working directory will be clean. Please keep muted, everyone. If you are not talking to me, please keep muted. A request from my end, please keep muted, everyone. Okay, so git stash list. Here you can see the stash number again. Okay, again it was same. Now, how do you unstash?
Pop.
Pop, or else there is another way to unstash, which is called stash apply. What is this? What does this do? This also same. Unstash plus unstash, but it will not delete from temporary shelves. Means it will just, you'll have it on temporary shelves as well. Let me show you. See, it has got stashed. Okay, you get everything back. And when you see the stash list, see, it's still there on the temporary shelves. Got the difference between pop and apply?
Yeah, ma'am, when we apply this,
I'll tell you where and when you should use.
Yeah. So when we apply this unstash apply, so on the next when we are going to stash, then the ID will be changed from 0 to 1 something, because
This ID will not change. Next stash
all
will
the
be
time 0.
created with another number.
Yeah, the next number, because when we are doing unstash plus delete, so the same like 0 is the, when we do unstash plus not delete from tab, so it will be maybe 1 2 something. Means I'm just thinking.
See, if already a stash is there, like here it is there 0. If you stash again another changes, it will be added with the next number 1.
Okay.
If there is nothing here, it will start from 0.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. And this is the difference between pop and apply. So when you should use apply, why do you need apply or why do you need pop? See, generally pop is it's cleaning temporary shelves also, which is good. But let's suppose I want to continue this incomplete work on some other branch. Let's say I want to continue the incomplete work on some other branch. So you can do apply, and later on you switch to other branch and get the stash changes there and continue the incomplete work. Stash is a repository level. Okay, you can get it from any other branch as well. So if you want to do that kind of, you may keep it on temporary shelves through apply. Right, so that you can unstash and continue on any other temporary branches rather than messing up the actual branch. So that's where you use pop or apply depending on the context. Like if you want to modify on some other branches, you may use this apply, right? So when you do apply, yes, you have it here already. If you want, you can delete this separately. I'll show you that. But yeah, this is you have stash and unstash. And let's suppose I would like to stash again. What do you do? Simply git stash, right? And have you noticed whenever you do git stash, whatever be the number of files, like whatever are there, unstaged, everything is being stashed, correct? But let's suppose I want to stash only a particular file. Is that possible? Isn't it? Like different ways you can stash and unstash. Is it possible? So yes, that's possible. That's called partial stash or a specific stash. Okay.
Ma'am,
Like
can you repeat that partial stat once
okay,
again?
see, what I'm saying is whenever you stash, like whatever is in staging area, like whatever in the sense, I mean, unstaged or working activity, I have two files. All of them were being stashed, right? Both the files were being stashed, isn't it? Like I have two files, unstaged changes in two files. Whenever I run stash, everything is being moved to temporary shells, correct? But if you want to stash only
Yes,
one
yes.
file, or like let's say I want to stash only file one, you can use -p. That's called partial stash or stashing a specific file. Maybe I just want to commit file 2. Maybe I don't want to stash it, right? So that's where partial stash comes in, or specific stash or partial stash, whatever you call it. And when you do git stash -p, see, you can see here, it is asking for confirmation, like yes or no. You can also, within the code block, you can stash only chunk of lines also you can do. So many attributes, but we don't generally do that. But yeah, you have them. See, yes, I have done for file 1, file 2, no. Okay, done. Now, if you see the status, see, only file 1 was stashed, file 2 is still there. Git stash list. This is the one that's created. This is older one, which is left over. Correct? So this is the one which is created now. Let's suppose I want to stash this separately. You may stash again now. Okay, as anyway, there is only one file, you can stash it. Now it got stashed. Status is clean, but we stashed it separately. Sorry. See, no local changes. 3 stashes. So whichever you want to unstash, you can unstash it through pop or apply. But let's suppose I want to unstash, or else I don't want to unstash, but I want to delete it. That also you can do by git stash drop stash number. What is drop will do?
Remove from the
Drop.
temp. Remove from the temp.
Removed from the removed from the list, removed from the temporary shells. That's all. Right? It will not unstash. Drop means just deleting the stash from temporary shells.
So that is empty, and we cannot unstash after that if it's deleted. Drop.
Yeah, you don't have it, right, at all. You don't have it. You can stash only these two now. Right? Or else if you want to clean everything, simply do git stash clear. It will delete all the stashes. Now if you do list, nothing. Right?
And there is no way
Stash
to
clear.
roll back, ma'am.
You cannot delete it from all, like from them. Both are same, but there drop, you drop a specific stash. Here clear will do all. Delete all. Let me put here all. Here delete specific stash. Right? And similarly, difference between pop and apply. Pop is unstash plus delete from temporary shells. This one unstash, but it will not delete from temporary shells. So this should be clear now.
As a
Understand?
DevOps person, so in which case this stash would help. So anyway, developer will do all these things. We need to only push the code or commit or any. So in what way this needs to be done as a part of DevOps.
Vijay, if you have attended the first sessions of Git and all, this will be used, like Git will be used by anyone. Correct? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Everyone, in the
Yes.
sense, even DevOps, as a DevOps person, we do have so many configuration files, right? Terraform files, Kubernetes manifest files. Why not we do this?
Okay. Okay. That much.
Isn't it? See, whoever manages the files, whoever have to manage the project files, everyone can use it. But of course, even developers also don't use stash that extensively. It all depends. Like, you want to put the work on hold, you may stash it. It's not mandatory. Developers should definitely use it, or else they use it more. It is just the use case to manage your code base, manage your files, how you work with your repos. But generally, we don't use stash that frequently or that rigorously. But yeah, learning this Git, everyone should know, not only developers, because we do have so many manifest files which we'll be preparing for our infra tools.
Yeah, agree.
Right. So this is about the stash. Okay. Do the hands-on.
I
Tell
have
me.
one question before that.
Mm.
So can we label it the stash or something, add some message?
Like
for
there
reference,
were some
something?
alias names. Yeah, something like you can
How
put
to-
some rather than the star zero. Like there are
Yeah.
some alias names and all you can do. But like I said, right, going to this extension is more than needed. You don't need those things at all. We don't use that much of those.
Yeah, still we
But
have the
yeah,
option to.
possible. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
There
Yeah.
were something like alias names and all. See,
Okay.
like any tool, if you take, it will be too huge. Okay, not only Git, coming up any tools, we will be learning from basics till advanced. Like I said, right, this stash we don't use that frequently, but yeah, we will be learning it. All those advanced concepts, even rebase, we will learn. We will learn all of them. Okay, to whatever extent is needed, we will learning them. But still, as much as you use, tomorrow you may see a new option, new flag. Like I told you, right, the stash we discussed is for unstaged changes. For untracked also, you have stash, like I told you some time back, you have to use for new files -u. Even new files can be stashed with -u flag. That's a new thing for you. So many new options will be there, definitely will be there. Okay, you don't need to explore all of them. Once you learn, once you master to this extent, you can explore that and use it, right? So there are many ways to explore. Always this should be the Bible for Git. Git official documentation. Like where you downloaded, even this link I have provided in the drive, Git documentation. Okay, this should be the referral manual. It like you have a book where some official videos, but yeah, this can be the reference. Whichever topic you can search here and refer here. There'll be so many flags for each option. Okay, that's one way, or else you can also do like a Git. Let's suppose take any command. Okay, help. Right, a man page will be opened. See here in the browser, right? This is the man page, manual page for Git. Synopsis, what it does, so many flags. See, I told you about -u, -q, okay, -p. No one knows all these options. No one should know also, not possible. It's not that you by heart all these options, everyone know, no. But you should know, okay, this is how you should explore. Something else you want to try out on Git stash, this is your reference. For any tool, this is how it will be. See, each option explained. So no one will be using all of them. Like I said, in their career, no one will be using all of them. So you don't learn all of them. Just explore. You should be able to understand or read this. That you will get through practice. Okay, -q, quite what it means it's doing at the back end. See, -u means untracked, right? So you just read it and use it. That's all. You don't need to memorize and keep it all. Even in the interviews, they don't expect all of them. They'll explore how you use it. For that matter, if we talk about other tools, like if you take up other advanced tools like Kubernetes, Terraform, official websites are always preferred. It's an open book exam, even in the interview as well. You can ask in the interview also if you can refer the official documentation for Kubernetes and Terraform. But you should ask proper scenario, means if it is the right context, you can ask. It's not that for every question you can't say I'll refer document, okay? But yeah, for references, it's always an open book exam for Kubernetes, Terraform in particular. Even the certifications also, you are allowed to refer those official documentations. But yeah, you should be able to know how to use it. That you gain through practice, expertise, experience. All right. So every command will have those options like even stash or even log or anything. That's how you can explore. All right. Let's come back. So today we were talking about branches. Of course, yesterday we discussed about branch. Today we discussed about the merging. Of course, merge with conflicts. And also we have seen merge, fast forward merge, like without conflict, right? And then we have discussed about stash. There is one more concept called rebase, another advanced concept called rebase. Once we are done with the rebase, we will talk about remote repositories. Okay, until then, remind you, we were still on local repos. Once we go to remote, again, we will talk about branching, merging, resolving the conflicts there. Okay, we will talk about all of those things on remote repositories again. But yeah, before we proceed, let's talk about rebase. Good to go. I will just explain the rebase today. Tomorrow we shall do the hands-on. Can I go ahead?
It was explained.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's talk about what is rebase. Only today I'll explain you theoretically. Tomorrow we will do the hands-on. So rebase is, to understand this, let's take a scenario. Suppose there is a master branch. There were some commits, commit A, commit B. Okay, from master, after like I made 2 commits, then I made a new branch called B2. So obviously I'll get this commit A, commit B. Okay, from now onwards, they were like 2 parallel entities. Parallelly development is happening. So here they made a commit called commit C, and here they were making some commit D. So development is happening parallelly. It was good. As expected, everything is fine. But like after some time, like, or also after some days, I realized that I want the changes from master to be integrated into B2 branch. What should we do to integrate changes from master to B2?
Merge.
Merge, right? It is the merge. So if you merge, what happens? The commit history of B2 will be A, B, D, and C. Have you noticed it? Of course, you haven't done hands-on it on merge. Once you do the hands-on, you can notice it. Whenever you merge on the destination branch, a new commit ID will be added. If it is no conflict, if it will be the same ID. Like commit ID C. See, I can't write the ID, so I'm writing it as A, B, C. If it is a conflict, it would be maybe some other ID. ID may change, right? This would be the case. You notice it when you do the hands-on. But whatever it is, either it's a conflict or it's a no conflict. A new commit ID will be added as a latest commit in the destination branch. Is it correct or not? Notice it when you do the hands-on, okay? A new commit ID will be added as a latest commit into the destination branch whenever you merge. Means this is added just because you are integrating changes from one branch to another. But what I want is, I don't want that to be added as such. Rather, yes, of course, I want to integrate the changes from master to B2. But what I want is, I just want this C commit should common sit in between B and D. Why between B and D? Because I just want to see linear development. Linear development, and I want to have a clean log history, clean and clear log history. Means I just want to rewrite the log history in such a way that it should show me linear development. Linear development means what is linear? What is parallel development and what is linear?
Linear is
Parallel means,
sequential.
yeah, parallel means, and see here, I wrote these arrows. Parallelly development is happening means on master branch, they were doing something. On B2, they were also doing something. Parallelly, it's happening. Actually, parallel development is happening. Linear means one after the other. Means I want to see the log history as though first development happened in parent, then child. Correct? Generally, linear development means first changes in parent, then changes in child branch. So if you want your log history should be rewritten in such a way that all the changes are happening first in parent, then in the child. Why do you want this? Because see, when I see this, it's very simple. First all parent changes, then all child changes. Which shows linear development, easy to understand, clean, clear. I don't want to add a new commit whenever I merge, right? New commit ID need not be added just because we are merging. So if you want this kind of log history, or else if you want to rewrite the log history, that's called rebase. Means rebase is also kind of merge. Functionality wise, it's doing same. It's bringing changes from master to B2. But what it is doing, it's doing linear and clean development. Got it, everyone? This is what is
Ma'am, this
rebase.
is a
It
concept
rewrites
or
the log history. Tell me.
yeah, ma'am, this is a concept or this is going to be a command also.
A command also,
Okay,
it's a
this is
command. We will
okay.
rebase, like we did git merge, we will rebase, git rebase. We will see commands tomorrow. Okay, this is far advanced concept. Beginners are want to use this. Means you should rebase, there is a thumb rule. You can rebase only your local branches. If you have shared this with others, don't rebase. But rebase on remote is also there. That's a different thing, pull with rebase. We will discuss that later. There is also pull. There is pull with rebase. We did not start pull yet. Don't confuse. Okay, at that time we will again talk about pull with rebase. That's different. But the whole point of rebase is it avoids unnecessary commit IDs. It avoids unnecessary merge IDs just because as a latest commits into the branch. Why do you avoid it? What is the advantage? We'll see that with the pull rebase. That is also kind of it. But this is the concept of rebase. Only the thing is, it will rewrite the log history. Right? And how it will rewrite? It will first put all parent commits. Means, see, all parent commits will be arranged first as per the timestamp. Then again, all the child commits as per the timestamp. So that's a rebase. Whatever we discussed diagrammatically with its diagrammatic representation today, we will do hands-on on this tomorrow. Understood this? Like theoretically, at least you understood whatever in the diagram.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we will do the hands-on on this in the next session. Any more questions? You can ask me any questions in the hands-on also. Yeah, like yesterday's hands-on or anything else during your hands-on. Now you can put your questions. We are not yet done. Okay, just give me a few minutes.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes. Yeah. 1 second.
The
Give me
rebase
1
only
second.
happen to local only?
One second, please. See, I am posting here the quiz. Okay, that's a quiz on branching. I think some of you have taken it today. Again, take this quiz. And also, that's actually yesterday's quiz. Here is the quiz on today's topic. I would suggest you to take up now. Whoever don't have questions, please go through those two quiz now. I'll be checking on the results now. Yeah, now whoever have questions, please go ahead.
It is saying that you need to be registered or something for the sign in to continue or something.
You have to put
So,
your email ID. Yes.
okay.
Okay, log in with your Gmail ID particularly.
Okay.
I have a question from yesterday's quiz. So,
Yeah.
like, there is a question: what is Git branching? So
Okay.
the answer it is given as a command to create a new commit.
Sorry,
So,
that
like,
was a correction. The first one is a technique used to create multiple copies of a report.
oh, okay, yeah.
I have corrected it, but I don't know why it was showing. I may have to refresh it. I'll look into it.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, ma'am.
I did the same error.
Discuss about ignore, and then
Yeah.
stash. You said that we'll discuss on that.
Correct. Sorry, I missed it. Thanks for reminding. So we learned stash, right? What is the difference between ignore and stash? Can anyone? Of course, I want answers from everyone.
Ignore
Were they both same?
Ignore is like untracked file. In the that we can add the untracked file, and this here in the second one we can add the staging file also. Staged file.
Ignoring the means, madam, we don't want to version control it. So here the files what we changed it to, we need a version control, but time being we don't want to go for the we don't want to show this moving out the branch to from one branch to another branch. It will show definitely some commits are there are some changes in the file we need to commit and commit and move forward. But files are we need for the version control in the future. But Git ignore, we don't want it. We no longer need those changes to be tracked.
Yeah.
So like we
unstash,
we can also remove the entries from Git ignore at that time, right? Isn't it?
Yes. See, a Git ignore is completely not version controlling that particular file. But here, this file one is still being tracked. Only unstaged changes were moved to temporary shells. Other changes were still being tracked. We are tracking the file. Only certain unstaged changes we were moving to it's like we are putting on hold for some time. Right?
Okay.
So file is still being tracked. This file is still being tracked, isn't it? When you do git status or further, if you make modifications also, it will work. You are just moving some unstaged changes of this file to temporary shells. That's all. File is still being tracked.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Right? These are important, like I said, from the point of interview as well, or else for you to work on it, you should have clarity on nodes, stash. Generally, some of you may have confusion over it. But now I think it is clear, right?
Yeah. This is a nuance actually. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Can you please come again on Git ignore?
See, Git ignore means, let's say you have a log file. You want to version control. You don't want to version control it. You will put that file name in Git ignore, and Git ignore will not version control this file, isn't it? Git will not track this file at all. Correct? Right? But whereas this stash is file one is still being tracked. Only line one I wrote, it is not staged. That one I am just moving to temporary shells. Right? Only that line one, I just want to move to temporary shells.
Okay.
Understood.
But when you execute git stash, ma'am, that time files are not visible, right? It is gone to
No,
temporary
file
shell.
is visible. You observe it. File is still there. File is here. Content is not there because they are empty files actually, but file is still there. You
okay,
do
suppose
that
now
again.
if you create something now, when you unstash it, so again everything will be overwritten, right?
Again, like see, if there are committed changes, it will ask you like, whether you want to merge it or not. There might be like conflict coming up. Conflict in the sense already some changes, whether if it will ask you for confirmation.
Okay, conflict can happen even in local directory
Not
also.
Not exactly conflict, but it will ask you whether when you are bringing changes from stash, if already some changes, whether it may ask you whether you want to unstash or not. It may ask for confirmation. That's all. See, conflicts always happen, right? Today, conflicts happen in our local only, right? When we merged.
Yeah.
Conflicts can
That is with
happen in
respect to
local.
branch and master.
That is,
Yeah.
that's with respect to branching and merging.
Ma'am, yesterday when I was doing the hands-on, I created the git ignore file. Then I made it file one in .txt into the git ignore file inside. Then the git ignore file itself shows untracked every time.
Yes, git ignore is also a file, right? It is also a file. You have to add
So,
that file and commit that as well.
oh, okay. So my doubt is whether to commit or not. Okay.
You have to. See, it is after all another file, like any other another file. You have to add it and commit it.
Okay, that step was not there in the hands-on document, so I confused. Yeah, thank you.
In the hands-on document in the drive or in the website?
In the website, I think. Website.
No, ma'am, in the
Okay, let
document
me check.
also. Ma'am, in the document also, it was not there.
Okay, I'll check. Let me check. Okay,
Ma'am,
we'll check and update.
one thing, yeah, when we do git stash, you said files will be available, but when you execute git status list, there won't be any files, right?
No,
How do you
no.
mean, and what do you mean? Yeah.
File when you do git status, it's not showing means because it's not having unstated changes. In git status, it was showing clean. Doesn't mean that file one is being removed. See, here file one is there. I wrote something here. Hi. Okay, now if I do git status, right? Now it is showing here because it's having unstated changes. Now if I do git stash, right? Now see, file became empty, but file is not removed. In status, it's not showing because it's not having unstated change. That's all. File is still there. See, file is being tracked. Git ls files. Your file one is still there.
Okay.
Understood. Whereas git ignore, you will remove it from working directory and you don't want to track it.
It will be hidden. Okay.
See, now if I do again stash pop or else, let's say I just want to ignore it. Git stash clear. Okay, from remote also it's gone. Okay, my file is still being tracked, file one. Whereas git ignore, what you do, let's say I don't want to track this file one. Okay, first I will remove this. Git rm cached file one. Okay, so now it is removed from staging area. See, it's asking me to commit. Commit the changes. Commit means you're committing the deletion. Okay, let's say deleted. Done. Okay, but when you see status still file one, I don't want this to be tracked. What I'll do, it's still being tracked. Dot get ignore. Okay, put file one dot txt. Done. I saved it. See, it was grayed out already when I saved. When I do status, see file one, it's no more tracking it. When I do git ls files, there is no file one.
Got it.
Got the difference between stash and ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
it's not. Now it's not tracked, but this is also, after all, another file like any other file. What you have to do? Right? Okay. Git commit -m, ignore added, whatever you give proper name, proper message. Done. Now, git ls files will not have file one, but it will have git ignore.
Ma'am, if we add a new file, file 5, and we directly add it into to git ignore, it will
Add the file 5 means do you
five.
want to create the
Yeah,
file 5?
yeah, create file and then directly add to the and then we do git ls minus files. So
File
I
5
think
is there.
yeah,
Okay.
and I think git ls so that's
File 5.
yeah.
Now add it to git ignore. File 5.txt.
So we will check git status. Yeah. So this is okay. And get ls minus files. Yeah, it's not so there. So it is in the ignore.
Okay.
When you do the commit for .git ignore, what is the need? Even that will go to central repository, right? So we no need to
Git
send
ignore
that.
will go. Git ignore should go because we should know what are files ignored. Only file names. These will not go.
But it's of no use, right? I mean, that will be
It is
revealed some
of,
more
it
information.
is useful. It is just telling you what files were not being ignored. That's very important to know which files were not being committed.
Okay, that should be there in repository also, ma'am.
Yes.
Not enough to keep in only local.
You should push to remote also. See, others also should know which files were ignored. Yes, there are sensitive data in the files. Those are ignored. File name you can tell, but you don't need to tell the content.
Okay, got it.
You have to push it on remote because they should know which files we are ignoring on this project. Everyone should know.
There is something called the git stash branch.
Git?
Git stash branch.
Stack or stash?
Stash. Git stash branch.
Okay.
We haven't discussed that.
I don't have idea about it, Suresh. Like I said, right? There might be so many things. What are you telling? Git stash?
Stash branch.
One second.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, there is a question in the quiz.
Yeah. We haven't discussed that.
Git stash.
Branch.
Okay, git stash branch and branch name. So let's see here.
It's showing something like
Creates and checks out a new branch starting from the commit at which the was originally created, applies the changes recorded in stash to a new working tree and index. If that succeeds, a reference to the form, and then it like you're stashing a branch itself. See, the point of adding few questions in the quiz, additional questions will be definitely there, which we don't discuss, like which we did not discuss. For sure, there will be additional questions. That is for you to explore this way. Okay, you just figure it out this way and try to answer it. It is stashing the branch and you can try it out. Certain things were there for you to also explore the things. Just read it and answer it. Enough. You don't need to go with the hands-on on it. Git stash branch. It's about stashing a branch. I have never used it. We don't use it, but still, yeah, this is how you should explore and answer it. So any more questions? Have you completed the quiz? Sure, Darshan. All the access will be provided. You can connect with Raj on the WhatsApp. Okay, for the access, all the access will be provided. Right?